I wanted to share this one because I had it just last night, this experience just last night, and I thought it was very good because it was a good reminder. Because I know that some of the new friends were talking recently about being healed or using energy to heal themselves. And so I figured I was shown this to kind of bring it forward and let everybody know or share with everybody that, we can heal ourselves. And I seen this for myself, and I did it for myself. On the real side, it was like I was out of my body, but maybe perhaps another, like the astral body or something like that, but it looked like the physical form. And anyway, I was totally exposed. And I remember it was like I put in a set of hands. I had these set of hands just as a reference, and I put them on my hip area, and I was touching my thumbs on these specific little points. They look like little circles, these little white circles, and I was pressing my thumbs against them, and I knew that I was putting my focus on my true self, and I was singing. I don't even know what word it was. I thought it was the NUUU, but I didn't recognize what it was. I figured if it was the NUUU, it would have stuck with me, or I would have remembered, but it was something like that, some sound. But it could have just been the sound wave that I was bringing through. But either way, the focus on like the is and the true self was there. And I knew by that very fact that that was the focus. And something you might say, because it shines like the sun, it's like unlimited, you might say. I was bringing through this life force into these little drained points on my body, and as I pressed my thumbs against them as a reference, they filled up with this light, and then they would sink into my skin and turn to the skin color. And I was going little section by section with all these little points. And it was very interesting that when I woke up, I felt this great relief in my hip, because usually my right side of my body is very like tight. It's very like tense because I had an injury. But I noticed little by little I've been doing that, and so I wanted to bring that forward. I'm not sure if it would work for everybody, but the big idea, or the main idea, is that as you focus on the true self, all of these things become available to you. You don't need to go to like somebody who does Reiki or somebody who does something else, because then you make agreements with them, and a lot of the times they have a personal focus, so you open yourself up to like reptilian influence, when you could just get it directly from yourself. And in that way, by looking to your real awareness for it, or for this whatever's necessary for you, you learn to become self-sufficient also too. So I just wanted to bring that forward for everybody.
Yes, this experience is sort of like kind of strange to me. I used to go to two different colleges when I was living at the apartments, and I would have to go on the bus, and the bus would go through the mall. It was called Eastridge Mall. So from the mall, I would go all through the mall. I would go all the way across, maybe get some coffee or an espresso, and then go to the other side of the mall to catch another bus to go to the other college that I was going to. And I would do this for, I think it was already 2 years. Well, the other day, when I first started to think about certain things, all of a sudden, I had this dream. And the dream, all of a sudden, I was in this dark place, but I didn't even know I was in this dark place. But all of a sudden, this door opened up in front of me, and I could see that I was in a place that looked like either 4 or 5 feet tall, and it was 10 by 10 in size. And when the door opened up, this brilliant bright light came flooding through the whole little room that I was in, that I didn't even know I was in that room. And it was Rebisar Taurus. And Rebisar, sorry about that. It was Rebisar, and he was shining so bright, so brilliant, that it was like looking at high definition pixels. I mean, he was just so crystal clear, and he's like, he didn't verbally say something. It was like saying, "Okay, it's time to get out of here. It's time to leave this place." And so I walked out with him, but the weird thing was that I didn't even know a part of me was trapped in some weird room at a mall, at a shopping center mall. Like, what am I? I almost felt like I was hiding. It almost made me feel like I was either hiding or trapped. Rebisar didn't explain that, but I was happy to be out of there, and I felt like kind of freedom. And so uh, that was that experience. But I had another one where I was going from one city college to another city college, and I saw this. And we passed. This was in the Saratoga area of the Bay Area, and I seen this tree next to a library. They would pass as I was going to the Saratoga College, and the tree seemed to lit up. What the library had done was left a patch of prune trees, because that used to be where, when I was a little boy, we would be farm workers and we would pick prunes in that area, all over the Bay Area. And so I remembered, oh, this used to be where we used to pick prunes. I totally forgot about it because I don't live in the Saratoga area, but I just happened to pass by there because of the college I was going to. Well, that night I was at the tree, and all of a sudden my whole, it was like I was trapped in that area for some bizarre reason. I didn't know I was trapped, and my astral body was in pieces all over the bay, all over that whole area. All of a sudden, little pieces of my astral body kept zooming in and coming to that area, coming from all over. And then I felt whole. I didn't realize that for some reason my astral body was scattered all over the place. But I felt whole, and that was something really strange, that I did not know that I was scattered like that, and somehow I was trapped in that area. So it was like saying, okay, now you're whole. Let's leave this place. So I'm wondering, well, how many other places am I trapped or lost or scattered? So I'm working on that now.
Well, you have a problem.
Kidding.
Just kidding. Just kidding, young man. That's everybody. We have our attention scattered all over the place. And it takes a while. It takes lifetimes to focus. And so you need that objective view too. All the experiences that you're having, you need. Good, bad, or indifferent. These are all viewpoints that you use to compare with recognizing the is as you gradually recognize it. It's very important because you see what you don't need. Because most people are, until they come to that point, they're thinking that all these things that they're experiencing or they've been brought up with, they do need. But actually, we don't need any of it. It's just until the point that we recognize that we don't. And so in the meantime, you go through these things, and yeah, they're funny. But now you can see it from a more realistic viewpoint, instead of thinking that, oh, well, gee, this is how I was raised. This is how I've always done things. This is what people think. No, it's all made up. You're just going through creation to eventually recognize the is, and how you do that and what your journey is. That's up to you, and this is where people have all different types of experiences. And there is no true reality here in creation. It's a simulator. All of it's a simulator. All these relationships, all whatever. We're like the shining sun. And you're utilizing 5 bodies because, again, you need the experience to see what isn't real. And so all these attachments and relationships and all that, they've all been made up. And so as long as a person wants to cling to those, that's where their intent is. But once you start to get your intent to recognizing the is and take on the challenge to compare all this as a comparison and not as a reality that you thought it was. Remember, that thinking body is only in creation, and whatever it thinks, it's not so. But it becomes your reality. You know, it's like the old saying, whatsoever man believeth, so be it. Well, that's what it is. And so that's the thinking part, the believing, the thinking, the feeling, all these things. Looking at the sun shining, there's none of that. There's no happiness. There's none of the things that are implied here. And Paul had his own little saying, and that is, there is no truth greater than a lie if a lie is what you would wish to believe. So, and that's true also. So again, you know, most people think that the governments of the world are their friends and is going to help them. Well, is that true? Well, have fun with that. So we're not into truth and lies either. It's not about that. We've went through that. Those are the babysitting stages. Now it's about getting real and how real you want to get. So yes, and Rebisar has said it, you can have, you know, continually have experiences, or you can go direct and learn to recognize what's real and start comparing from that angle. So, you know, it's up to each individual. And so in our personal mind, we can have experiences and we can wonder about them for as long as you want. But it's not about that. And yes, the guidance is there and you have experiences with the real guides. But again, it's just like when you were little and your dad took you to his workplace. You have experiences with all these people that have jobs and take care of themselves. But until you do it, you don't. So there's the idea. So the experiences themselves come out a particular way. They are framed phenomena is what they are. And they can look any way at all. It's just that, you know, they relate to you in some way or they don't. Just like the experience where you know, with the tree and whatever it is, that becomes your identity to gradually give you hints. But you're the decider as to how you're going to recognize this and step up and be real with all life and have a real purpose. That's up to you. So in the meantime, you're going to do a lot of wondering about whatever until you get past it and really step up and recognize what a real purpose is. So there you go. Yes, thank you for sharing.